The truth is, most of you don't actually want to win. You just want to feel like you're trying. You wear struggle like it's some kind of badge. You chase motivation like it's a cure, hoping it'll carry you when you're too weak to carry yourself. You talk about dreams, effort, heart, as if those things mean anything on the battlefield. They don't. They're decorations, pretty words to hide the fact that you're still stalling, still waiting, still hoping that maybe life will notice you if you cry loud enough. But it won't. Life doesn't care how badly you want it. It only cares what you're willing to sacrifice for it. Stop pretending emotions make you powerful. They don't. They cloud your instincts. They slow you down. You let them control you, and then wonder why you're always a step behind. You want to be understood. You want support, validation. You want someone to look at your struggle and tell you you're doing enough, but you're not. Out here, only results speak. Only execution matters. Wanting it doesn't make you worthy. Moving without hesitation does. Heart, that gets shattered. Talent rots without precision. Passion, it flickers out the moment reality stops feeding it. What matters? The only thing that ever mattered is clarity. Can you see exactly what needs to be done and do it no matter how it feels? Can you shut out the noise and move like a machine? Not because you don't care, but because you've trained yourself to function. Even when every part of you wants to collapse, you romanticize the struggle because it makes failure easier to accept. You keep telling yourself that trying is enough, that showing up means something. But it doesn't. Not if you're still standing still. You use effort as an excuse to avoid confronting the truth. You're not doing what it takes. You're doing just enough to avoid the guilt of doing nothing. And you hide behind that. Behind the noise. Behind quotes. Behind excuses. You fill your mind with things that sound powerful, but don't force you to act. You surround yourself with empty noise to feel busy, to feel like you're progressing. But you're not. You're just avoiding silence. Because deep down you know silence would expose the fact that you're not moving at all. I don't care how much it hurts. I care if you can still move while it hurts. Anyone can train when they're motivated. Anyone can push when the fire's burning. But what do you do when it's not? When it's just you, the grind, and silence. That's when your real self shows up, and most of you break before it even starts. You think awakening is this grand, explosive moment, but it's not. It's quiet. It's cold. It's mechanical. It's when you stop waiting to be saved. It's when you stop explaining why you haven't changed. It's when you start doing things even when they feel meaningless until they start to mean everything. You were lied to. You were told that being passionate is enough, that being emotional makes you authentic. No, it makes you predictable, easy to read, easy to shut down. The world doesn't care how true you are to your feelings. It only cares how lethal your execution is under pressure. You want to stand out? Then do what others aren't willing to do. Train past your limits. Master what they ignore. Outthink them. Outmove them. Not loudly. Not with theatrics. Silently. Efficiently. Without wasting breath. You rise, not by being louder, but by being more exact, more refined, more unshakable. And here's what most of you won't admit. You like being average. Not because you enjoy it, but because it's familiar. You like knowing you're not alone in your failure. You like the safety of the crowd. But there's no growth there. No power. The people you admire didn't stay safe. They left everyone behind. Stop idolizing potential. Potential is a myth people hide behind to avoid accountability. If you're still using the word potential, you're not a threat. You're a concept, an idea, a maybe. No one fears potential. They fear precision. They fear someone who already delivers. You say you want to change, but change hurts. It breaks the identity you've been clinging to. That's why most people reject it. They want to transform, but refuse to die first. If you're not willing to kill who you were, how can you expect to become anything new? You call it discipline. I call it standard. Discipline means you're forcing yourself to do it. Standard means it's not optional. If you're still relying on motivation, you've already failed. The best don't need motivation. They've rewritten their instincts. It's not effort. It's identity. The grind doesn't care how emotional you are. It doesn't slow down for your insecurities. It doesn't stop because you had a bad day. And if you think it should, if you expect the world to adjust to your pace, then you've already made yourself obsolete. The world moves with or without you. You either keep up, or you vanish. You think people are watching you. They're not. They're watching results. They're watching what actually moves the needle. Your effort isn't invisible because you're misunderstood. It's invisible because it didn't matter. You want people to notice you? Then give them something they can't ignore. Silence them with what you do, not what you're trying to be. Every excuse you repeat is just an anchor. A safety line tying you back to the version of yourself you should have killed already. You're scared to let go because that version feels familiar. But growth doesn't care how familiar weakness feels. Growth demands you bury it, without a funeral, without tears. You're not unlucky, you're undisciplined. You're not cursed, you're inconsistent. You're not being held back, you're just not doing enough. Harsh? Yeah. But reality isn't a therapist. It's a scoreboard, and if you're not winning, you're not executing. Simple as that. You want that fire back? Then stop whining and go earn it. Fire comes when you stop negotiating with yourself. When you wake up, shut your mouth, and move. No delay. No self-talk, no overthinking. Just action. Ruthless, unfeeling action. That's what reignites people. Not quotes. Not tears. Not playlist. You think someone better than you doesn't feel tired? You think they don't feel fear? They just don't let it control them. That's the difference. They feel the same storm you do, but they move through it like it's background noise, because they've decided it's irrelevant. And when it becomes irrelevant, it becomes powerless. Most of you want strength without sacrifice. You want transformation without trauma. But growth is violence. It's cutting off your comfort, your identity, your excuses, and becoming someone unfamiliar. You don't get to stay the same and evolve. You either break yourself, or the world breaks you. You say it's hard. It's supposed to be. That's the test. That's the filter that separates who rises and who drowns. The path isn't cruel. It's designed. And if you're struggling, good. That means the system is working. It's exposing the people who never belonged on top. You want to be undeniable? Then become undeniable. Not in your words, in your habits, in your execution, in your cold repetition. Do it when no one claps. Do it when your name isn't mentioned. Become so consistent they can't ignore you forever. Even if they try. At the end of the day, It's you versus you. No rival. No enemy. Just a version of you that's too soft to carry your future. Kill that version. Mercilessly. Don't talk to it. Don't negotiate with it. Just destroy it. Until what's left is someone even you wouldn't want to face. Kill your emotions. Not because you're hollow, but because they're a liability. Every second you hesitate, someone else makes a decision you couldn't. In that second, that's the difference between being first and being forgotten. Between becoming elite or becoming nothing. You think your pain makes you special? It doesn't. We've all suffered. The only difference is, some of us weaponized it. The rest stayed emotional. You want power? Then stop flinching. Stop blinking. Stop needing to be liked. Kill your comfort. Kill your self-pity. Kill the version of you that still believes there's any strength in being soft. The field doesn't reward sensitivity. It rewards certainty. The elite don't just act, they act with intent. Every step, every glance, every breath is calculated. Ice in their blood. Fire in their vision. Precision in their movements. That's what it means to command. You want to awaken? Then stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for the right mood, the right time, the perfect conditions. Rip that illusion out of your mind. The world owes you nothing. Take what you want, not with hope, but with execution. With discipline. With cold, relentless pressure that breaks everything in your path. Be the one who doesn't chase greatness. Be the one who forces it to acknowledge you. The strongest don't talk the most. They don't brag. They don't post. They just show up every day and kill the version of themselves that wants to slow down. They don't explain themselves. They don't wait for others to catch up. They don't need noise or hype or applause. Their existence is the announcement. Their actions are the proof. So if you're tired of being overlooked, good. If you're tired of losing, of being average, of being almost good enough, good. Let that disgust cut deeper than any praise ever could. Use it. Build a new version of yourself. Colder, cleaner, faster. Not driven by emotion, but by intention. Because in this world, predators don't flinch. They don't care how heavy the crown is. They only care about wearing it. So make your choice. Keep clinging to emotions, or kill them. Not because you're empty, but because now you're ready. You've made it this far, and yet, some of you still want comfort, still want someone to tell you you're doing okay, still want reassurance. This isn't a therapy session. It's a battlefield. And out here, okay isn't enough. Hoping, dreaming, visualizing, none of that matters. If you're still flinching when it's time to move. If you're still doubting yourself when it's time to strike. If you're still asking, what if I'm not ready? Let me answer that for you. You're not. You've never been. No one is. That's the point. Readiness is a myth invented by people afraid to act. You don't get ready. You decide. You don't wait until you're fearless. You move while you're afraid. You don't wait until you feel powerful. You act again and again until power is the only thing left. And this is where everyone breaks. Right at the edge of transformation. Because it's violent. It demands the death of who you were. It demands silence, isolation, brutality. It demands you kill everything inside you that makes excuses. Every part of you that still wants to be liked. Every thought that still asks for permission. Transformation isn't poetic, it's surgical, it's ruthless. It cuts through your weakness like a scalpel through flesh and leaves you raw, exposed, unrecognizable. And that's why most people run from it. And that's why they plateau. Because they want glory without sacrifice, recognition without reinvention. They want to win, but they don't want to change what they are. So I'll tell you what the world won't. If you want to reach the top, then burn the version of you that settles. Burn the identity that's built on failure, on fear, on almost burn the voice that says maybe later. Burn the story that says I did my best. And from those ashes, you built something unshakable. Something cold, something surgical, something relentless. You build the version of you that doesn't blink, doesn't flinch, doesn't beg. That version doesn't ask for a shot. It takes it. That version doesn't ask for approval. It becomes undeniable. And if that scares you, good. Fear is just weakness showing its face. Let it look you in the eye one last time. And then crush it. Move anyway. Bleed anyway. Rise anyway. Become so ruthless with your execution, so focused in your purpose, so precise in your presence, that the world doesn't get to decide what you deserve. You decide. That's the only way this works. That's the only way you evolve. And if you can't do that, then step aside. Because the ones who can, the ones who are done feeling, done waiting, done explaining, they're already moving. Already building. Already becoming monsters in silence. You want to be like them? Then stop thinking about it. Start killing everything that isn't necessary. And when there's nothing left but purpose, when all the weakness is gone, then, and only then, you're ready to walk like you own the world.